Thanks for coming in today, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. We're going to get this baby fired up before the briefing so that way I can taxi out and lead the pack for tonight's event. This is the Where's Waldo Lake event. Virtue Safe Flying Club event. We are in the M500. And we're probably going to need it based on the conditions. But like I said, we're going to get this thing started up ahead of time before I do the briefing. So that way I can immediately taxi out and lead the line for when the event starts after the briefing. So let me go ahead and start running through the checklist. We're going to get right into it. So here's the checklist that I'll be running through. So passengers boarded, doors closed and latched, all electrical systems off, cabin climate controls are off, all circuit breakers are in, the ECS cab control is off, parking brake is on, bleed lever is pulled off, power lever is idle. Oh, whoops, I gotta do something real quick. I just realized I gotta unplug this. There we go, that'll help. Condition lever is feather cut off. Emergency switch, we're gonna go on. We're gonna check PDF, or PFD, excuse me, and off. Nav light on. Battery switch on. Flaps are retracted. Fuel cages are good. All tests, all the oil temps, AOT, fuel is good. We're going to do the fire detection test. Oh, that's right. I got the volume turned off. Whoops. There we go. Alright. And check the cast messages are all good. Alright, let's fire this thing up. So battery is 24 to 26 volts, got 25.4. Fuel pumps, manual. Ignition, manual. Prop area clear. We'll go ahead and hit the start switch. We want this thing to roll up. Oil pressure, NG 13%, roughly stabilized. Then we can introduce the condition lever. Starter should cut off at 56. Above 63, and we're pretty much right there. 1200 RPM minimum, we're pretty much right there. Gen switch on, alternator switch on, fuel pump switches to auto, ignition switch goes to off, and we want to check the oil pressure. It is above 60 psi. Alright, so there we're good there. Before taxi, avionics switch on. Enter on the MFD. Cast messages, consider any illuminated. Good there. Autopilot pre-flight test. It's good. Pitot switch on. Checked. Off. Checked. Taxi and recog lights on. Cabin climate control as required, so we'll go ahead and set the normal. ECS cabin radios and avionics checked. Alright, so we'll work on that in a second. Flaps, verify track elevator trim set for takeoff. So we'll put it into the green here. There, alright, rudder trim, set for takeoff, we gotta put that into the green right there. Bleed lever push in. Cap pressure stump 6.
How's everybody doing
good.
this evening?
Thanks for coming today, I'm doing good, how about yourself? ACS cabin switch to normal.
I'm sick. That's why I'm here today.
Destination elevation, we're good. Stall warning test.
Stall.
Wow,
Stall. Stall. Stall.
Altimeters are set.
Well, you sound good. You don't sound
We're
sick.
not going to release the park brake just yet here, chat.
There's that.
Alright.
Yeah.
Start
The
with,
wife's got the congestion. I have
6,500
everything
feet.
else.
We'll see if that's going to be doable with the conditions that we have. Alright, and center the heading mode. That's all good. So it's going to be heading and vertical speed to start. That's going to be fine to start. Okay. Alright, so we're not going to release park brake. We're going to do our run up here while we're set. So parking brake set. We want the power level to go to 1900. Pretty close right there. Alright, overspeed governor switch test. We see the drop. Good. Power leveler idle. Reverse lockout switch hold. Confirm that beta is not available, so we're in beta. It is not available. Beta is off. That comes off. Generator switch off. The alternator takes the load. Generator switch on. And that's the run-up check. So that's complete. So now we'll wait to move until after the briefing. Oh god, I'm sorry, chat. Oh man. Excuse me. Hold that gate right next to me. And pop up some other aircraft that we're going to be flying out of. So let's go into the show cam case since we have a little bit of time here for the briefing. Let's fly around. This is a nice freeware scenery that's on Flight Sim 2. FlightSim.to website of Redmond. Looks like someone did a pretty nice and meticulous job of making this. We appreciate their work and are thankful that it's free. You can stop stuttering around at any time, Sim. Thanks. Yeah, someone definitely put in a lot of work to this scenery for it being a free scenery. They really, this must be like their home airport or something. They really decided to lay into and put it up on that Flight Sim 2 site because they did a pretty fantastic job with the details for a freeware scenery, so we are thankful for that. Looks like we got a helicopter over here as well. I don't know if that's, yeah, that might be built into the scenery. That's Huey. It's gotta be. So yeah, very nice little scenery. Leading edge jet center and all that. So yeah, it's gotta be someone that you gotta think they probably live here. It's probably their home airport, so they decided they wanted to take the time and put in the work for their home airport. So they did a pretty fantastic job with that. We thank them for that. We got 121.8 set up for ground, because right now we do have Redmond ground on.
Trenton Sargent, and 9th.
Let's get rid of that. There we go. starting to get some people loaded in. Very good, very good. About 10 minutes until we start the actual briefing, chat, so we'll hang on for that. What the heck is going on with my freaking thing here? Here we go. Alright. Let's see. I think we're good. Right? I think everything's good. So we're just waiting around for the briefing, which is going to take place in about 10 minutes time. Then we'll roll on out and we'll go do our scud running for today's event, since the weather not fully cooperating, but it's enough. It's enough for us to go and scud run and have a chance at being able to get this done without having to manipulate the weather. So we'll give it the old college try, see if we can make it happen. And you never know. It might work out. We're gonna also, I'm gonna put Bend in here just as a reference. KBND. Again, just as a reference. Because obviously we're not gonna be going direct. We got quite the route that we're gonna do that I'm gonna talk about more in the briefing. Oh, it's BDN, not BND. BDN. That's right, BDN. That's right. So again, that's just going to be for reference. Obviously, we're not going to be going direct with the route that we're doing. For those that want a preview of the route before I do the briefing, there it is. We're going to depart out of Roberts Field here, which is Redmond. We're going to fly out pretty much due west, slightly southwest. We're going to go wrap around the three sister mountains, and then we're going to fly south and down to Waldo Lake, as long as we can find it. And we're going to wrap around Waldo Lake. Then we'll shoot out over past like the Wickiup Reservoir. I guess that's the name there. Past, you know, all these reservoirs, Davis Lake, all that. Come find Route 97, and then we'll pretty much follow Route 97 up to Bend, and we'll make a full stop landing at Bend. So pretty, you know, just a makeshift little route excursion, whatever you want to call it, for the event tonight. And everyone's going to be doing pretty much about the same thing in tandem this evening. So we're looking forward to having a nice start to the event here for the Virtually Safe Flying Club. It's our first event in 2024, and we are looking for some great turnouts this year, some great event ideas. If you're new to the stream and you don't know what the Virtually Safe Flying Club is, the link to the Discord is there. If you're a VATSIM member and you enjoy general aviation flying, take a look at that link. Join the flying club. Join us on some general aviation events, and all will be good. How about that? I think we're going to be using runway 5, so it's probably going to be Charlie 2 to Bravo 2 across and all that fun stuff for the taxi. So we are just killing time here. We got about 5 minutes till the briefing, so we'll just hang out. We're in the Virtually Safe Flying Club Discord, getting set up here. Actually, I need to... let's see. That set up for the briefing. Make sure that when I do this, okay. So we are getting set, ready to go here. Looks like we've got 17 already in the Flying Club Discord, so we're off to a good start.
Hey,
Just in the Discord alone. Hey, thanks for coming in today.
how's it going?
Good. 15 on the ground, and we've got a Flying Club member that's controlling the ground for us, so that would be... We're off to a pretty good start here, number 5.
Your mic.
Say that again?
I said I'm doing good. It helps if you unmute your mic to talk.
Yes. Yes, it does. Feeling in pretty good here on a Monday night. Love to see it.
Yeah, I got a couple tail draggers.
I forgot to set up my model match, and all my tail draggers look like big old tube liners.
Oh boy.
I'm fine in the event and my favorite plane ever, so I'm happy.
I just realized I have no idea where I'm loading in.
It's all in the briefing. Be-do.
Oh, no, I mean I started it up and I have no idea where it's loading in.
Gotcha. Kitty Monster!
I'll just not on a runway, you're fine.
No, it's in a ramp. It's probably at Redmond, but beyond that, I don't know.
Radio check, happy New Year.
Hello. A little quiet, but you're here.
Yeah, quiet and on Discord.
This Redmond freeware is pretty good.
Yeah, it really is. I was looking at it on stream here to start. It must be someone's home airport because they put a lot of detail into it. Do a briefing here in just a second, so everyone hang tight in the chat. And after the briefing, we'll get rolling. Briefing's going to start in about 1 minute, but I'm just going to say real quick, we're going to do this a little bit old school flying clubbing where I'm going to lead the pack, so I'll be the first person to taxi out this evening and get the takeoff and all that, and then everyone can kind of fall in line behind. If you're flying a fast aircraft, plan to be at the front of the line. If you're flying something slow, plan to be at the back of the line. We want to try and stay in line without too much passing throughout the route, throughout the event. Now, obviously, everyone's going to fly at a touch different since there is a little bit of ambiguity here and there, but that's what we're going to shoot for. I'll cover that all again in just a second.
What plane are you flying, Mike?
M500. So I'm going to have a little bit of pace to lead the pack.
I'll say.
Alright, it is 7:30 on the East Coast, so we will get started right on time. Thanks for coming in today. Welcome to the first event of 2024. I'm very happy to have this many people joining us this evening. This makes me very happy. It's a good start to the 2024 event year for the Virtue Safe Flying Club. and we've come a long way. So I'm happy to have you guys here, whether you've been here for a long time or you're just joining. Thank you very much for participating. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to go find Waldo Lake. So Waldo Lake, if you look on your sectional chart, is actually just a lake down here. I just happened to come across it and was like, damn, that's got to be an event. So that's what we're doing. Real simple. We've got currently have Redmond ground online. Maybe we'll grab a tower. If not, then ground will be just fine. There's going to be taxiing us out to runway 5 at Redmond tonight, so plan on runway 5. So it's probably going to be a bit of a left downwind departure to get you out to the west. You're going to fly out west, kind of just go north of the north sister of the 3 sister mountains here, and then you can kind of wrap around the mountains. Once you hit the north side mountain, you wrap around, come down on the west side of the mountains. You can go down on the east side, you might have a little bit more terrain to deal with, so you want to come down the west side of the mountains. And after you pass the south sister mountain, you kind of want to go a little bit to the southwest, so you can get down over to Waldo Lake. You gotta be careful, you got this little bit of a peak right here. We're gonna join Waldo Lake on the west side, kind of loop around to the south counterclockwise, and once you get to the east side, you don't have to do a full loop. You can kind of break off, head on across over here, going pretty much due east until you hit Route 97, right near Lapine over this area, and then you're just gonna follow Route 97 pretty much up until you get to Bend, where we'll all do a full stop landing at Bend Municipal, at which point if you want to depart out of Bend and fly somewhere else, that is entirely up to you. That's the full scale of the event. Is just this quick little group flight that we're going to do to Bend, flying around the sister mountains, down to Waldo Lake, checking it out, and then following the highway back up once we hit Route 97. So pretty straightforward on that. The weather is holding out right now, 0608 knots to the wind at Redmond, 10 miles scattered 4,500. And down at Bend, the wind 230 at 13. So it's crazy how they're so close together, but the wind is completely almost 180 degrees different. But 10 miles and clear. It is low visibility over Sun River, so there is still going to be a little bit of that scud running that we're going to have to do probably at points during this event. But I think we're going to be able to hold out VFR okay if we do the real weather tonight. It looks like we kind of got a little bit lucky with that based on what the forecast was earlier, so I'm grateful for that. So I would say run real weather, test your skills. It's going to be a little bit of a scud when you get over to the highway here, it looks like, and there might be patches of the lower clouds when you get closer to the lake, but if you can find the lake, that's what we're looking for. We're trying to find where's Waldo Lake. So maybe a little bit of a challenge to find the lake tonight. So it's a little spice into it, if you will. I ask that you guys please do, and I know that it's different now with VATSIM, with CRC and everything, but I still ask that you file a VFR flight plan. It's insignificant to the actual controller now because of CRC, but it looks good on VATSpy or VATPrism or whatever you use, so that everyone can see, hey, there's a whole group of people doing the exact same thing. We should check that out. Kind of helps to promote not only general aviation, but to promote the flying club as well there. And of course we have the approval to use the rear world CTAF, so when we get over to Bend Municipal, the rear world CTAF at Bend is 123.0, so make sure you have 123.0 in the primary for the CTAF at Bend, and have 122.8 in your secondary if you do have a secondary radio, so that you can monitor that as well just in case. It's great that we have that approval, and it's nice that we'll be able to use the real CTAF for that one. Otherwise, the big things to watch out for tonight, there is a lot of terrain obviously in the area between the sister mountains and a bunch of other stuff. With a little bit of a low ceiling here and there, the terrain is going to be a factor, so definitely want to pay attention. Keep your eyes on the sectional, but keep your eyes outside as well. Make sure you're not going to run into any mountains. And of course, for those that are new, if you haven't already, just a real quick, because I know there's a couple people in here that are doing their first event, just read through in the rules channel the event etiquette for me, please. That's going to kind of give you an idea of what we strive for here in terms of keeping a proper etiquette during events. And once again, thank you to Oliver, one of our own, for providing the ground at Redmond. It looks like ground is all we got for now. I don't see anybody connected up to the tower, but ground is fine. He'll get us over to runway 5 and we'll take care of the rest from there. And again, a little bit old school on this one. You guys are gonna wait for me to take off first. So I'm November 124 Mike Charlie, as many of you know. For those who are new, that's my call sign. It's the one I pretty much always use for club events. You're gonna wait for me to taxi out to runway 5 first. I'm I'm going to lead the conga line. Again, if you're flying a faster aircraft, please try to be towards the front of the line. If you're mid-range of the speed, you want to be towards the middle of the pack. And of course, if you're flying something low and slow, you're going to have to be a little bit patient and kind of hang back towards the end of the line because we're trying to avoid passing as much as practical along the route. We want to try and stay in one nice little conga line here for the group flight this evening. And so that's what I have to say. Does anybody have any questions?
No questions.
Cliff posted a question via text. He said, what altitude is recommended for this? It's a VFR, and because of the weather and because there might be a little bit of scun running with the ceilings and everything like that, there really is no recommended altitude. Basically, just don't crash. Don't crash in any terrain is going to be kind of the theme of the night. And try your best to abide by the rules of 500 feet above any object or building or person, all that. So there's really no set altitude. And again, because we're starting out going west but eventually then going east, there's really nothing particular about that. Just maintain VFR. That's going to be the key to tonight, especially with the way that the weather kind of is around this area. Are there any other questions?
Can you pull the ATIS? I don't hear it on the radio. I think it might just be me probably.
So I pulled it via text. I don't know if I haven't tried to pull it via radio. I usually don't. I usually just pull it via text. I don't know if that's lazy or not, but
Okay, I can pull the text then. Yeah, I just don't hear it on the radio. That's all.
looks like it's ATIS
One
Quebec.
sec, I can check.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I got one, Mike, about the, you were talking about the flight plans, the VFR flight plans. They're not seeing them now, or what?
So with the new way that CRC works, when you file a VFR flight plan, it just shows up as it pretty much shows up as nothing now on the controller side. The only reason why that I still have you file it is because it does show up on like the data servers like VATSIM, VATPrism, and that's just a way for other aircraft to see like, hey, there's a group of guys doing this thing. It seems pretty cool. So that just becomes more of a look over here, look what's going on kind of thing now, just to kind of help promote ourselves a little bit. But in terms of the controller side, yeah, the VFR flight plans really don't mean anything now with the new VNAS system and CRC and all that.
I want to add to that. They do have one thing they function with. That's the remarks. I'm pretty sure remarks at least sometimes will appear to the controller.
I do think the remarks
like
show
always.
up, yeah.
Quebec works for me.
All right, any other questions? Yes, I love you, Sarah. Sarah asked me if I love her. Of course I do. All right. All right, I'm going to get us started. So again, if you guys could just patiently wait for me to get the taxi, get on over to runway 5 first. I'll lead the pack, and then, again, organize yourselves in a way where the faster aircraft are towards the front and the slower aircraft are towards the back. Obviously, I always put my faith in you guys to do that. Follow the etiquette. Have some fun. Try not to bend any airframes.
Also, one more on 123.0. Monitor 122.8 on your comm too.
Yes, that was mentioned. So 123.0 is the primary going into bend. Please monitor 22.8 on the secondary. All right, if there are no further, let's go ahead and get started. Redmond Ground, good evening. This is Meridian 124 Mike Charlie at the north ramp. I'd like to request taxi VFR to the west with information Quebec.
Meridian 124 Mike Charlie, Redmond Ground, runway 5, taxi at Charlie Alpha, cross runway 11 at Alpha.
Charlie Alpha, cross runway 11 at Alpha to runway 5. Meridian 124 Mike Charlie.
Redmond Ground, Kodiak, 3499 Mike to the north ramp.
We'll be taxiing fast if we don't.
VFR departure.
Kodiak 3499 Mike, verify your direction of flight.
99 Mike will be departing to the west.
Kodiak 99 Mike, roger, runway 5, taxi at Charlie Alpha, cross runway 11 at Alpha.
Charlie Alpha, cross 11 at Alpha, 99 Mike.
Candy Monster, so far the only one in chat, so thanks for coming in today, buddy. I'm sure there are others in here that are also flying along in the event. Welcome to the stream. Let's have some fun tonight.
Charlie at North Ramp, booking taxi VFR and departure to the west also.
KBM 930 Charlie information, Quebec current, let me know when you have it, runway 5, taxi Alpha, correction, Charlie Alpha, and you can follow a Kodiak to the left.
Sorry about that, we have Quebec on board. And taxi to runway 5, Charlie Alpha,
left,
and follow the
across.
Kodiak. November 930 Charlie.
You're en route to Chicago. O'Hare.
Coming around, November 269 Romeo 5 Twin Comanche, very taxi with Quebec and update parts west.
Comanche 26 Romeo, Redmond ground, thanks for Quebec, runway 5, taxi via Charlie Alpha, cross runway 5, and Alpha, you can follow a...
Alright, so let's go ahead and run the before takeoff checklist.
Charlie.
Seats and armrests are all good, generator alternator switches on, bleed air lever is in, cabin is normal. Temperatures are good. We're going to go ahead and do manual fuel pump, manual ignition. Heater heat is on, ice protection, we're not required right now. We'll see what happens when the time comes. We're going to go ahead and get the landing light on, get the strobe lights on, so that's all ready to go. This thing gets a little swirly on the taxi, you gotta be careful with the speeding here.
And Redmond ground. Twin Comanche 531 Victor.
Everything else is good to go. Flight controls, they are...
Looks like we got a tower up now too.
Pretty correct. Oh, fantastic.
Comanche 531 Victor X-ray, sorry about that, Redmond ground, runway 5, taxi at Charlie Alpha, cross runway 11 at Alpha.
It's like towers 24
runway 5 to Charlie Alpha, cross runway 11 at Alpha. 531 Victor X-ray.
Let's go ahead and turn beta off before I forget.
Redmond ground, Comanche 514 Delta Victor with Quebec at the GA North ramp for VFR departure.
Wait for him to switch us over to the tower because the tower just signed online, so he's probably getting set up here.
Redmond ground, Comanche 514 Delta Victor, GA North ramp with Quebec, ready for VFR departure.
Meridian 124 Mike Charlie, connect Redmond Tower 124.5.
1245, Meridian 4 Mike Charlie, good night. Redmond Tower, this is Meridian 124 Mike Charlie, ready to go, runway 5, VFR to the west.
Nor 124 Mike Charlie, Redmond Tower, runway 5, clear for takeoff, left turn on course.
Left turn to the west, runway 5, clear for takeoff, Meridian 124 Mike Charlie. It's time, chat.
And my plane just died.
Redmond Tower, Kodiak 99 Mike, holding short runway 5.
Kodiak
3499 Mike, Redmond Tower, hold short runway 5. Mike, hold short.
Alright, there we go. Rotate. Positive rate, gear up.
Kodiak 99 Mike, runway 5, clear for takeoff, left turn on course. 99 Mike, clear for takeoff, runway 5, on course.
And we'll go out to the west here. A little on the stuttery side. Wave goodbye to all our friends here as we leave the herd. I know why I'm still stuttering a little bit too, because I forgot to turn this off.
November 124 Mike Charlie for exchange proof, good flight.
For exchange proof for Mike Charlie, thanks for coming today. Alright, chat, so we will go to Unicom for now on 122.8. And we will then eventually switch over to the 123.0 for the CTEP at Bend when the time comes. So for now, we're climbing to 6,500 feet, at least initially here, and we're going to have to do a little bit of scud running between now and the arrival into Bend, I'm sure, because of the weather that is nearby. So we'll kind of take that as it comes to us tonight. Let's go ahead and see if we can find these sister mountains. You see, we even got a little bit of rain on the next red there. That's we're going to have to kind of compete with. So that's going to be, it'll be interesting to see how this kind of plays out for me in terms of the clouds. And I can already tell that we might have to descend a little bit here. So I'm going to stop my climb. And I'm actually going to slow the airplane down quite a bit here. And we are going to go, I think, back down to 5,500. And we're going to have to do a little bit of scud run here. So we'll go ahead and back down to 5,500 feet. And the scud running is going to start immediately, it looks like, chat. That's just the way it is. Scud run's gonna start right away. Pretty much as soon as you get out west, about 10 miles. Oh, let's scud. You can shovel for me? No, I'm good. I don't like shoveling. I'm good. You have fun with that. I don't fly too far to the south. I don't think that's one of the sister mountains. I think the sister mountains are out over here, but they're obscured by a little bit of cloud cover. So this is going to be very interesting tonight, I think, with the weather, in terms of how much we're going to be able to get to see without trying to hit any terrain. Pretty much right where we want to be heading wise, though, so we're off to an okay start. Mr. 26 Part 2, thanks for coming in today. Hey, I've seen you in the waiting room of the Virtuous Safe Flying Club, my friend, but you haven't provided your VATSIM information for us. So if you are a VATSIM member, we'd love to get you involved in the club. You just need to provide that information for us. And if you're not a VATSIM member, you should consider joining the VATSIM network, my friend. Have to come a little bit lower here, just chat for now at least. So I'm going to go slowly down to 500 feet, 5,000 feet here, and we're going to see what that does for us, at least in the interim. Are going to be scud running tonight. There's no way, no two ways around it. I think we see one of the sister mountains right up here, it looks like, straight off our nose. Is that correct? I think so. I think that is the North Sister. So I think I'm going to have to actually come to the right here a little bit. is that something else that I'm looking at? Maybe am I too far to the north here? I wonder if I'm too far to the north here. Maybe I'm looking at one of the other peaks. So I'm gonna... See, it's gonna be tricky tonight with this visibility. I think maybe the sister mountains are a little bit more to my south. It's hard for me to tell, to be honest with you guys. I think I'm a little too far to the north. I think this is something different, so I'm gonna come a little bit to the left here, chat, because I think I'm too far to the north. So I'm gonna slide to the left here a little bit. I think the sister mountains are over here. I think this is a different peak, so we're gonna come here just a little bit. We'll do a 245 heading for now, and kind of come this way. See if we can actually find the sister mountains. Because I do believe I am a little too far to the north at the moment. I think I almost want to get rid of my next rad here. Yeah, because the Three Sisters I think are over here more. Looking at my section, down over here and splayed out to the left. Yeah, so I think this is a better heading that I'm on to kind of get towards that North Sister. No shortages of mountain out here. Going to submit it tonight from my sim computer. Fantastic. Look forward to that. Head of the clouds, thanks for coming in today. Good to see you, my friend. We are going to have to go up a little bit in altitude here, so I'm going to go up to 5,500 feet so as to not hit the ground. And we are going to be doing a lot of altitude adjusting for this event tonight as we scud run through this clouds and try and find Waldo Lake. Tango Bravo, thanks for coming in today. Good to see you. A lot of the regulars starting to flow into the chat. Happy to see you guys. Happy to have you here, as always. So I'm not sure. This might be the North Sister Mountain right here. So we might actually be splitting the North and Middle Sister Mountains. I don't think that's the case, though. I think the Sister Mountains are still our left. I think I'm still too much to the north, so I need to go up another 500 feet, I think. Probably come a little bit more to the south here. This is going to be pretty tricky. Using this real weather.
You got clear weather in that saddle where you are, Mike?
No, I do not have clear weather. I am very much in the scud. We're going to go ahead and turn our icing stuff on too, just in case. We're going to have to turn a little bit more left to avoid this landing. 6,000 feet, but I don't think that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I'm climbing through 6 now, and I'm in the clouds a bit. I kind of see the ground. I kind of see the clouds. It's exciting.
Yeah, I'm going to be all over my GPS on this one. I'm going to need some help tonight. Alright, we need to disconnect the autopilot here, I think, real quick, chat, and not hit this mountain. I think we're right in the vicinity of the sister mountains. I see a little bit of clear air to my left here, so I'm just going to kind of hand fly this thing out of here. Oh yeah, I have to take the autopilot off. I gotta... Pretty close to the ground here.
Autopilot, wish I had one of those.
And it is snowing too, where I'm at. This is gonna be fun. Might have bit off more than we can chew here,
Is it
chat.
enough to where we should have brought a plane with anti-ice?
Kinda?
Yeah, we have bit off a lot to chew here.
I'm in the Cody, so I have some synthetic vision and a little bit of de-ice. Definitely sim flying.
And I'm just in experimental
So
tail
we have
dragger.
the sister mountains right here.
I ain't got nothing extra.
Oh, I'm overspeeding this thing.
But you'll just have to fly 50 feet off the deck, you'll be fine.
If I need to land, this thing can land anywhere. It's got big old bush tires.
That is the nice thing about this place.
Alright, so we're on the west side of the sister mountains.
Now, I'm probably
right
800, 1,000 above
as I
AGL, and I can
possibly
see the
be.
terrain, just, you know, barely, so you guys will be able to navigate with other.
Definitely not the way I drew it up when I created the event, but this is where we're at right now. But you can see we are definitely lower than the sister mountains, as we're kind of just scud running along here to the west. And we're full on no autopilot at this point because I don't trust the autopilot right now with the terrain. The adjustments I can do better by hand, so that's why I'm hand flying for the time being. So we are now on the west side of the sister mountains. That is we passed the north sister, this is the middle sister. Or the south, I don't know if this is the middle or the south, this might be the south sister. It's hard to keep up because we're moving at a pretty good pace and we're so focused on just not hitting the ground and not getting too deep into the clouds. Yeah, this is okay in the sim. Don't think I would have done this in real life by any stretch of the imagination kind of flight. Look at this little mountain that we got to avoid right here in front of us, Chad. Okay, just slide to the left. Slide to the right to go find Waldo Lake, because once we're south of the sister mountains, which I think we are now, we got to go at about a 194 to get to Waldo Lake. So I'm going to wait for us to clear this guy right here, and then we'll turn to about a 194 heading.
Airspeed, airspeed, airspeed.
I keep accidentally overspeeding this airplane. So about a 194. So I think I'm going to try and now get the autopilot on. We're going to go. Autopilot. See what this gives us. Maybe I can get back down to 6,500 feet. Try it. Actually, I think I'm going to need 7,000. So I'm just going to set 7,000. We'll maintain 7,000 feet for now. And this heading should... And I think, you know, we see our GPS, so this is Waldo Lake out here. A little bit of cheatsy doodle. So we'll get our heading adjusted so that we can be on the west side and then do our clockwise flight around Waldo Lake. So we're using all available resources tonight with these weather conditions. There's just no two ways around it. So you guys are all having a nice conversation. Evening from the UK, first time here. I'm usually a wide-body jet ladder sim pilot, so this is interesting to watch. Yeah, Vico, this is, we bit off a little bit more than we can chew here tonight, but we're doing it. And this is all part of the Virtue USA Flying Club Where's Waldo Lake event. If you're a VATSIM member and you have any interest in general aviation, actually the bot just pulled it up and then I pulled it up again, so you got the link twice over. If you have any interest in doing GA flying on the VATSIM network and want to become part of the Virtue USA Flying Club, the link is there. You do need to be a VATSIM member to attend, or to join the Discord rather. And we are definitely scud running because of the conditions tonight. And eventually we're going to make it over to Bend. It's going to be our final destination once we do our little jog around Waldo Lake, but we got a bit of a ways to go for that. So now we're just kind of comfortable here, 7,000 feet, we're out of the clouds, everything is good. So we're doing all right now. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the flight. More terrain here, but I think at 7,000 feet we're good. I think one of these highest peaks is like, oh, okay, and the weather changing abruptly on us is not going to help us at all. Okay, I was about to say, the sim better not do this to us right now, because that was brutal for a split second there. That was pretty funny. Mr. 26 Part 2, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. That was something right there. I mean, oof. Sim fooled me a little bit. I was a little concerned for a second, but thankfully it came to its senses, as it were. Adventure indeed so far. So we can see Waldo Lake, I believe, yeah, starting to come into view just a little bit. You can barely see the lake out there, a little bit of snow on some of the fringes of the lake. You can start to see the lake being made out there, right out in front of us. Whole gaggle of flying club members behind us. There's still a bunch that are taking off out of Redmond as we speak, so we have a very, very nice, well-attended event this evening. Good. This is how we want to start 2024 for the flying club. We're starting
I guess that's Mount Bachelor ski area there on the left. Looks like they got snow.
Yep. Yep, so you can see the lake coming into view out here. So we have found Waldo Lake. A little bit sketchy at some moments there around the sister mountains, but we're doing all right. Yeah, getting around the sister mountains was a little bit on the sketchy side, but it clears up pretty nice once you get towards the lake.
Yeah, I mean you can get under it once you get through the pass there, but yeah, it was pretty low.
Take a look at VATSPY real quick. You can see all of our flying club friends with us here, myself leading the pack, and then a whole gaggle making their way into the fun part of the event over there where they join the sister mountains. So nice, very nice turnout this evening for the flying club. Yeah, we're always looking for more members, so if you're a VATSIM member and you like GA flying, get involved. Come have some fun with us. Do about 4 to 6 events every month. This is the first one of 2024. It looks like it's frozen, kind of, sort of. I don't think it, the closer you get, it doesn't look completely frozen. I don't know if it would be completely frozen right now at this time of year. Maybe though. I don't know this area too well to know if it would be frozen. But we definitely have found the lake. So now we're going to do, like I said, counterclockwise around the lake, and when we get back to the north part, we'll break off and go to the east, and we'll find Route 97. So there you go, Waldo Lake in all its glory. I'm going to take a quick screenshot, so my screen might freeze for a second, bear with me. There we go. Oh yeah, there's definitely some ice. You can see the sim trying to kind of show some ice, and maybe even a little bit of snow sitting on those ice for the lake. So definitely cold. If my sim could stop lagging, that would be nice. It's definitely cold up in these parts. So again, we're just going to kind of wrap around the lake here counterclockwise. Dark in these parts too. I'm using real time. Probably going to be a little bit dark when we get to Bend. The cloud's definitely not helping though. It's definitely a lot darker than it would be if the sun was still up. Or the sun is still up rather, but the cloud's definitely making it a little bit more difficult. So we found it. Found the lake. You're right, head in the clouds. It does look quite cozy. Peaceful area. It's probably a pretty peaceful area, honestly, except for a bunch of us airplanes that just decided to start buzzing around it. Alright, so we will hook this thing around. Get the left turn going here. Pretty close to this terrain, but we should be high enough, so I'm not really concerned. Yeah, plenty of room to clear that. Not the most tight turning aircraft that we have here right now. I am a little bit out of trim too on the rudder, so let me go ahead and try and fix that. Cut back in a little bit closer to the lake because there is a little bit of terrain out here that we're coming pretty close to. Yes, we found Waldo, good fixes. We're looking right at it. Someone is going to make a noise complaint to the FAA? Yeah, probably. Probably. We're coming way further out than I had anticipated. I think the wind is probably blowing us out here. Yeah, about 29 knots of wind blowing us out here too. So we'll fly back towards the lake a little bit. So yeah, the lake is right in front of us, right here, is Waldo Lake. We're on the east side of it now. And then we're going to fly out east here in just a second. Definitely see some ice starting to form on the lake. Definitely cold around these parts. We got a little bit of traffic out here in front of us. So what we're going to do is I'm going to break off now. We found Waldo Lake, so I'm going to start my eastbound turn to go find Route 97. See, our little Tiss is a little bit angry. That guy's only 500 feet below us. One of our flying club members that's just joining over the lake, it looks like. I'm exiting out. Oh, we got this little mountain right here in front of us too, but we should be above that at 7,000 feet. I think we're clear of this little hill right here. Yeah, I would say so. Not by too much, but we're clear. And now we go and try and find, I think we'll be able to go down to 6,500 feet here. Might even be able to get down to 5,500 feet at some point, but let's go to 65 for now. And we're just going to be looking for Route 97. So we're going to cross over the Crane Prairie Reservoir / Wickiup Reservoir area past the I don't even try and say what the name of that is river before we get over there, so that's all going to be kind of on the way. It is definitely getting dark out, so that makes things just that much more challenging with what everything we got going on tonight. But this is going to be the Crane Prairie Reservoir to the right, or excuse me, to the left, and the Wickiup Reservoir to our right. And I do actually think we're able to now go down to 5,500 feet comfortably. I don't think there's anything higher than that the rest of the way along our route here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go 5,500. Go down slowly, ever so slowly, just in case. But I think we should be good at 5,500 for the rest of our trip here in terms of the terrain. Looking at the sectional chart. Definitely getting dark out here. Almost wish it was still a little bit daylight. Tempted to adjust the sim, but we're already committed to the real-time real weather, so we're not going to make any changes. We're going to stay committed to what we got, but it is very hard to see out in front of us with the low visibility and the darkness that has come upon us here, so it's going to be a little bit interesting. I think the rest of the way out here might have a little bit hopefully we're not going to hit anything, let's put it that way. I see a little bit of a bulge right here. I think we should be clear to the right. I'm going to give myself a couple more degrees to the right just to make sure that I'm plenty clear of that little peak right there. I think that peak is like 62.15 off of our left here. But we should be to the south of it. Yeah, we're going to be plenty south of it. So again, I think 5,500 feet is going to be not a problem the rest of the way up. Yeah, we are definitely scud running, no doubt about it.
OMG, the clouds around the first mountain.
Yeah.
I'm like low down in that first pass, just trying to not die to the turbulence.
Yeah, this Kodiak's getting tossed around like a cub. I can imagine how the cubs are getting tossed around.
Yeah, that's basically me. I'm basically in a cub. I mean, it's not exactly a cub.
So again, I think we're good here at 5,500. There's a little bit of a
it's cubbish.
peak
It climbs
right
better
here,
than a
but
cub.
we
I'll
should
tell
be
you that.
above this little. We're gonna actually again go now slightly to the left just to be sure. We come about 10 degrees to the left just to make sure that we don't actually. I'm pretty sure we're above it, chat, but we're gonna just play it safe. I see more land over here that's lower, so I'll go and fly to that little patch that I know is lower. Actually, plenty of visibility right here, right now, as we get closer towards whatever little bit of population this is. I think that's like Lapine area where we're gonna get this little bit of population. We're just gonna eventually join up on Route 97 to go northbound towards Bend.
Yeah, it goes from grass and dirt to snow real quick getting into the mountains.
So I think we're all right where we're at right now. So I think I can probably turn all the ice stuff off. So prop heat, this can come off, solid, this can all come off. So that's, we're good on that. So I think we're good. We're gonna leave this stuff manual just because we're doing some very unique flying. So keep everything running just in case. A little bit of extra safety, if you will. I think these lights kind of lead the highway. You see these kind of lights that are kind of going up to the north? I think that's going to be the highway lights that we're looking for. So once we get over the highway lights, we'll follow the highway up to Bend. Hello. for those of you that maybe don't follow Arch NDA or are familiar with the blurb little add-ons, I added the extension to the channel, the little blurb channel, so you guys can play sounds for bits. I think it's like 100 bits to play a sound, so that is in the about part of the channel if you want to look at that. That's something just so you guys have a little bit more fun in the stream. I decided to throw that in there because I know my good buddy Arch, when he streams, he has that going, and it's a lot of fun to mess around with him using that. So I decided I'm going to throw that onto my channel, and you guys are more than welcome to, you know, screw around with me with that if you desire. I think the highway is off our left right here. Yep, so there's the highway. It's not as well lit when you're right above it as I thought it would be, but you can kind of see it looping around, so we're going to kind of just loosely follow it to Bend. And again, this just for reference now, so I don't get too lost. We see that we're going to be at a Bend in about 6-7 minutes, so not too long until we get up to Bend and do our full stop landing. We're going to switch now. Can I help you, computer? What was that? Don't start doing stuff like that to me now, computer. We're almost home. I'm going to switch to 123.0. I'm going to do it the cheatsy doodle way here. Real World CTAF for Bend. I got 122.8 in the COM 2. So I'm going to, where is my audio panel? I want to have the COM 2 stack. I want to be able to monitor COM 2. COM 2 to come up on this thing. I don't even, can't say that I'm actually familiar with that. It won't let you blurb. Really? Why is that? Come on, I had this all set up and you're telling me it's not working? Should be good. I see it on my end. Should be good. I see it on my end. I don't think you can hear me. The button is grayed out. Alright, so let's go and... maybe I have to have it open. Try refreshing the channel now because I have it. I open it up. It should be working now, I would think. I think that's Bend flashing its light out in front of us, right? That's got to be Bend out there with the green flashy light. Probably. We're about, how far out are we? About 14 miles out. Should probably start slowing down just a little bit. Have it activated, it should be functioning. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be, so... It was working perfectly fine the last time I ran the stream, but alright, we gotta, while you guys see if that ends up working, we're gonna focus up here because we're getting pretty close to our destination. Bend traffic, Meridian 124 Mike Charlie, 10 miles to the south, planning to arrive on runway 16. It's gonna be a right downwind for runway 16 Bend. Enter right downwind for 16. You can see the airport out in front of us. We're pretty much already perfectly aligned for the 45 to the right downwind at 16, so this is kind of working out pretty nice. And I do have Volanta running, so you guys can put landing rate guesses in the chat if you want, and you can start putting them in there now. You do not need the exclamation point predict, although I know Kenny Monster is going to do it if he hears me. But yeah, you can go, but you're on your phone, so it could be that. It may be, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know how it works fully, but we do have a little bit of traffic right there to us, below us, I think. But you'll just be careful here. We're gonna start slowing down now.
Check gear.
We're gonna go ahead and do this.
Check gear.
Make sure I've got all my
Check
stuff
gear.
here. Relax, airplane. I'm aware. Do the first notch of flaps. We're gonna go ahead and take the autopilot yaw damp off. Gonna hand fly it here. Join the right downwind for runway 16. Field elevation is 3,400, so I need to be 35. We'll round up 3,500 for the track pattern out, or 4,500, excuse me, for track pattern altitude. So I need to get down just a little bit to 4,500. Get rid of my flight director. I don't need that guy either. Again, if you want to put landing rate guess in the chat, now's the time to do it. Positive or negative number does not matter. Do not need the exclamation point predict. And Volanta's running, so that'll be what we use to see what the rate is. So again, we're trying to get down to about 4,500 feet. Gonna put the gear down. Got the field in sight. We're doing the right downwind to runway 16. Bend traffic, Meridian 124 Mike Charlie, joining the right downwind for runway 16, full stop bend. Again, 123.0 for the CTAF at bend, 123.0.
Bend traffic, Kodiak 3499, Mike number 2 behind Meridian, right downwind.
Second notch flaps. Landing rate guesses in the chat. Last call on that. We're joining the downwind for runway 16. Not exactly a well-lit airport. I can't see the runway. Is this airport not lit? Is this a simism? It's gotta be a simism, right? Because I can't see their airport. So we're gonna have to, unfortunately, adjust the time so I can actually see the darn thing because the lights were not working. So that's a little bit of cheatsy doodle because we couldn't see the lights. The airport lights weren't working. So I apologize for a little bit of lack of realism there. Bend traffic, Meridian 124 Mike Charlie, right base, runway 16 bend. The taxiway lights were working, but the runway lights were just, I couldn't see them. They're working now, but when it was dark, I couldn't see them. Alright, it is what it is.
Hey Mike, this was very fitting about Where's Waldo. I poked myself out of the clouds finally and see the lake.
Bend traffic, Meridian 124 Mike Charlie, final runway 16 full stop, bend.
But you've been in the clouds?
Definitely was a challenge.
Yeah, as soon as I went around the first mountain, I was in clouds and precipitation.
Yeah, I was scud runner and I was like down probably less than 500 feet and I was fine.
Let's see how far we're going to float here. Oh, 2 landings for the price of 1 and not anywhere close to the center line. Definitely not my best work.
My sim insists everything's fine.
Let's get the beta going.
Kodiak 3499, Mike turning final, runway 16 bend.
Okay, we'll and dodge here. Bend traffic, Meridian 124, my Charlie's clear, runway 16 bend. Guess we'll go park right in front of this fancy little house, huh? Seems only appropriate. I'm gonna have to run some checklists here in a second as well. Get this thing shut down. So I'm gonna go ahead and park on up, set the parking brake. I need to get out my shutdown. Here we go. After landing, fuel pumps, auto, ignition off, pitot heat off, ice equipment all off, strobes, landing, taxiway lights all off, weather radar standby, flaps, retracting transponders required. Shutdown, parking brake set. ECS cabin comfort off. Power lever idle, it has been. Climate control is off, so we'll go ahead and turn you off. Fuel pump switch off. Avionics switch off. Generator alternator switch is off. ITT stable for 2 minutes. So we'll wait a second because I don't think it's been 2 minutes even. We'll give it a more second, and then we gotta pull it to idle. Go ahead and turn the bleed off while we're thinking about it. Exterior light switches all off. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
Turn this
clear
off.
runway 16.
And then the battery will be the last thing after we shut it down. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think we're good to shut it down. Alright, what was our landing rate, chat? Let's see. Minus 91. Even though we did kind of 2 touchdowns, but minus 91 feet per minute. So there you go. There's the proof. You could see it on your screen. Minus 91 feet. So who would have been the closest then on the guesses? I think Good Fixins was probably the closest with 99. Yeah, it looks like Good Fixins. There's only 2 guesses anyway, so that's gonna do it. That takes the cake. Nav lights off, battery off, and we have arrived.
Is that terminal building accurate for Bend? I feel like I'm in Bhutan.
Probably not, but it is pretty fancy. We can go ahead and open some doors and do all that kind of bells and whistles here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and open the cabin door. We'll go Peter covers, propeller covers, chalk, security cones, red carpet, the whole 9. How about that? Look at that little sunset too, since we had to come out of the real world time, since the airport was looking a little funky at night. That was a little disappointing. So I'll have to test that out off stream and see where that gets to me. So I guess we couldn't figure out the blurb thing. I don't know if it's working or not. Maybe it's you can't use it on mobile. I don't know. Might be where you can't. I think it might be where you can't use it on mobile. I don't remember being able to do it on mobile unless it was like the channel points, but I only have it set for the bits. So I think maybe that's a reason why it wasn't working Good Fixins, is maybe because you're on mobile versus the actual channel, because it should be up and ready to go. At least on my end it looks like it's perfectly good. So yeah, guess that kind of is what it is, huh? All right. Yeah, not bad at all, right, chat? Good bit of flying. Bunch of friends with us along the way. Let's see where we're at in terms of the flying club. Oh yeah, we are wrapping all around this area. Flying club members. Very nice. Whole whole spattering of us that took off out of Roberts Field. I think 20. There's 20 of us that took off out of here. So we're going to be looking at some very good numbers. Oh, I didn't put my landing time, and I got to do that in the Discord real quick. There we go. Got to count myself for attendance. Hey guys, don't forget to put yourself for attendance when you guys are done flying. Oh, a little bit of streamception, huh? Alright, so we are here. We have arrived safely. A bunch of our flying club members are en route. Why don't we go ahead and hand the stream over to another one of the flying club members that has just got started. Our good buddy Michael Minook, November 8033 Fox on Twitch. I think he just got started. I think he was the last person to take off, actually. So we're going to go ahead and you guys can watch it all again through his perspective in X-Plane 12 in his home-built Cessna sim. So you guys go ahead and take a look at him. Short stream compared to my ATC stream last time. The Kennedy Towers a mess last night. But appreciate you guys stopping by. This was the first flight sim stream of 2024 for me. First Virtuous Safe Flying Club event of 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed the action. It was definitely a lot of fun going around the Sister Mountains there with the Scud Run. Going around Waldo Lake and all that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm going to hand it off to Michael Minook. Thank you guys for coming in today. I will see you next time. Have a good night.